If your real estate business feels stagnant right now, I'm going to tell you why. I know exactly why you feel like you're not making any progress. You're spinning your wheels. I'm going to diagnose it and tell you what to do about it right now. What is up, guys? Welcome to episode 407 of the Massive Agent Podcast. I am your host, Dustin Brohm, here in Salt Lake City, Utah. I just got back from two different events, one last Friday in Columbus, Ohio, and then on Monday morning of this week in Salt Lake City. The Further Together events that were put together by a group of agents. There was basically one event per day for 30 days, sometimes multiple events in different cities on the same day, but incredible. So this episode is some stuff that I've learned or was reminded about at these events is what I'm going to talk to you about today, because I see agents that are you're spinning your wheels, you feel stuck, you're doing work, you're spending all these hours working, but you're not really making any progress. And I think I know why. And I know what the solution is. And I'm going to call that out today. But before I do that, speaking of events, I'm actually going to be, so the last event that I'm going to be a part of this year is called Elevate in Vegas. And so go to vegas.fairwayelevate.com. So Chelsea Pites, Neil Dingra, Arjun Dingra, their sister, Shivani Peterson, who's freaking amazing, Haley Parker, Ashley Corona, and myself are all going to be part of this Elevate event in Vegas. It's just like the one in Denver. If you guys saw on social, the one that I did in Denver a month or so ago, we're going to be doing that again in Vegas, and you can get tickets right now. It's about a month out for the event, but tickets are at vegas.fairwayelevate.com. That is the last event that I currently have on the calendar of the year that I'm going to be a part of. So go, if you're in the Vegas area, go get yourself a ticket, and hopefully I'll see you there. I'm super excited for that one. Okay. I noticed in my own life, in my own business, this happens quite a bit actually, but you get to this point where you're so focused on doing the work and you're just working, but all of a sudden it's like, it just feels like nothing's moving. And when I take a step back, I realize I've just been chained to my desk for too long. I'm stuck in one place. I'm not moving. So if you're stuck behind your desk and you're wondering why your business feels stagnant and that it's not growing, I mean, this episode could be a little wake-up call for you. And the solution's fairly easy, actually. I mean, I believe that most agents are not really missing another marketing hack, a marketing tactic, a script or an ad or some tactical thing to do. It's usually a connection or a relationship that you're missing, or a connection that you need that you don't have currently. I mean, the biggest opportunities in your career are usually come from a conversation, not from a campaign. But you've got to do what it takes to stimulate those conversations. And I see agents who are just stuck in one place and they're not plugging in with other people. So if you feel stuck and stagnant, I bet you haven't been to an event lately. I bet you haven't met up with other agents at a coffee shop lately. I bet you haven't plugged into some of those resources that are out there, and because you're just so head down, focused, tunnel vision, doing your thing, getting the work done, and you're busy. Sometimes it pays dividends to take a step back, go to a local event, travel to a conference, get a change of scenery, get around other people that are doing the thing you're doing and trying to build the thing that you're building. And it's just a huge boost to your sales. That was a weird analogy. It was a big, the wind in your sails. That's what I was looking for, not a boost to your sales. What we're looking for is a boost to your sales, like your sales and your sales business. Yeah. Anyway, whenever I go to events, it's always this big like jump start to my business and my growth, and I meet new people and it fires me up and I learn new stuff and then I go implement it. So if you spend too much time in one place, your office, at home, the basement, your office, if you work at the brokerage and have like a cubicle in your office or whatever, get your ass out of there and go talk to other agents at a local event, or go to a conference, or go to your company's event, your company's conference. So many things happen there that just light your business on fire. And let me dive deeper into this. Okay. The isolation trap. Okay, when you are isolated for too long, I understand you got to get work done, and that you're if you're wired like I am, you're like tunnel vision, you're so focused, you're getting shit done, and you're just pushing everything else out of the way. But it just stops working so well. You stop, like, the progress that you're making slows, and you get stagnant because of this isolation trap. And you think productivity means that you just stay glued to your laptop all the time until the work gets done. I don't think that that's true. You need breaks, you need interaction, you need to meet new people, you need to talk about what you're building with other people in person, because you may realize, holy shit, this thing that I'm spending all this time on is the wrong thing. I'm not even doing this the right way. Instead, I could do this and it's going to work 100 times better. Uh, That happens all the time, where I think that I'm on this one path. Then I go to an event, I go talk to a few people that have already done the thing, and they're like, "Oh no, what have you considered this? What about this other thing instead?" And I'm like, "Yep, I should probably do that instead." And then I do, and it saves me a ton of time and a ton of money. Isolation kills your momentum, it kills your creativity, it kills opportunity, because you're stuck. When you're alone, your perspective shrinks. Your perspective is only yours. If you put yourself in a position where the only time, like, if your knowledge and expertise is limited to just yours, you're so limited on your growth, because it's only limited to your knowledge and your current level of expertise and your insight. You need other people to give you their insight and their experience and their expertise. And you need to be around others so you can hear what's working for other people. Like, even just logging into a virtual mastermind every week is such a big boost to your business, because you can hear what's working for others, and it can stimulate thought and ideas for you and help you figure out how to faster accomplish what you're trying to build. So I think that social media gives us a false sense of connection. And now, it's absolutely real connection through social. So don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that you can't connect through social. 1,000% you can. But it's also not the same thing as in-person connection, where you're literally face to face with somebody, talking, working through something. There's just something more powerful and more impactful about the in-person experience. You have to have both. And it's fine if you prioritize virtual masterminds, Zoom calls, social media interaction, social media connection. That's fine. But if that's all you do, I promise you are limiting the hell out of your growth, for sure. Um, I mean, I when I look back at some of the biggest leaps forward I've had in my business and my life and my finances, it's been because of in-person events. There was this one event in particular I went to in Vegas. I was invited a week before, and my first reaction was, "Oh, it's not enough notice. I can't make it." And then I talked to my wife about it, and I was like, "Well, I actually can make it, because it was in Vegas, and that was only what is that, 6-hour drive from Salt Lake." And I'm like, all right, I'm going to go. And I got myself in this room, and it was this invite only thing that I actually qualified to be at. It was at my previous company. And it was a bunch of people who had already accomplished the thing that I was trying to do, and that I had had a little bit of success on, but I was at the bottom. Like, I was the dumbest person in the room, the least accomplished in the room. And so just hearing how all these people that have already done the thing that I was actively working on was super helpful. But there was one particular experience I had that changed everything. There was this guy that I was sitting by, and he had an accent, kind of had like a southerner accent, and he, said ain't and y'all quite a bit. And I don't talk that way. That's not really how people talk in Salt Lake. But I'm not afraid to admit I judged this person based on how they were saying, and also on their handwriting. I looked at their handwriting on some of their notes, and I was like, this is not this is sad to say, but I was like, this is not an intelligent person. Like, this is kind of a hick. But I was like, and I didn't know who they were. So I just kind of like discounted them. I totally discounted them. And then they got called on later on, and they're like, hey, you've been doing this and you've had this level of success. And they mentioned like the size of their organization and all this. And I'm just like, wait a bit, whoa. This person is actually a leader in this group of leaders. And I just discounted them as being like dumb for some reason. And I had this epiphany. I was like, wait a minute. If that guy can do it, who's misspelling words on his page, I can do it too. And I got this huge level of belief just because I put myself in that situation, and unfortunately had those like judgment. I had that judgment, but the belief that put into me was not something that anyone could tell me. I had to experience it and get there myself. And I thought, if that guy can have that level of success, I can do it too. I absolutely can do it too. And so I left there believing, and that's when my business, as it currently is situated, as it's currently designed, absolutely skyrocketed. Had I not gone to that, and I just stayed because I had so much work to do, right? I remember saying that I'm so busy, I have all this shit to do. I don't even know where I'd be. I shudder to think. I shudder to think. But being in that room, it created energy. It created ideas for me. It provided some accountability and proof that Zoom just can't replicate. It just can't. Like Zoom masterminds are fantastic, but it's not something you should be exclusively doing all the time. You need that in-person connection. And proximity, like when you're in the same room as somebody, you get proximity, you get access. And when they tell you a story of how they accomplished something or how they solved a certain problem, it just hits harder. It just goes in a little deeper. Like you just get it. It becomes part of you rather than just something you heard on a Zoom. And so I think that's absolutely key. So here's the thing. Some of you might be saying, well, there's nothing going on locally. I don't have anything locally. Well, I guarantee there's some realtor events happening that your association, your board, maybe your brokerage is doing. Get to those every once in a while, even if it's just once a month. Go do that. Just go be amongst other agents. Maybe it's a CE class that you show up to. Get some freaking CE. Local events that are happening that somebody puts on, your company conferences. And if there's nothing still, start your own meetup. Sometimes if you need to create a culture or a community and it's not there yet, you've got to be the one that builds it, or else it's just not going to happen. Like it's just not going to show up one day. If you need something, go out and get it, go out and create it. So start your own meetup, like a monthly coffee meetup where you just say, hey, agents, let's get together and talk about what's working in our businesses. And you meet at a Starbucks on the first Thursday of every month, and you just do it every month. And 6 people show up, and then 11 people show up, and then 8 people show up. And you're learning what's working for them, and you're sharing what's working for you, and you leave more focused and having more information, more tactical know-how, and more inspiration to actually get that shit done. So, and invite, if you're going to set something like that up, just invite other agents in your market. You should not care which brokers they're with. It shouldn't be like, well, if they're with Keller Williams and I'm with Keller Williams and they're the only people that can come. Well, then you're limiting yourself to just KW agents and their thinking. Just invite anyone who thinks that your event is going to be good for them, because that's how you get like-minded people. Ask other agents to collaborate on content. Do a video together where you do a part, they do a part, collaborate on some content, and then travel to masterminds and conferences. Invest back into your business. The ROI on one good, solid relationship that you can pick up at an in-person conference is massive. Like it's priceless. You can't put a dollar amount on that ROI. It's huge. But you've got to get yourself out there. Every major business growth moment that I've ever had came from some connection somehow, some connection with somebody else somehow. And I think if you looked at yours, it was the same way. And isn't it funny then that we're like, well, I'm so busy, I can't get out of, I just got to work. I'm stuck in my basement. Take a break. Go for an hour. Go meet with other people. If you can, take a few days and travel and go to an event in a different place. But that's also how you get referrals. It's how you get ideas, partnerships, maybe recruiting agents to your brokerage happens as a result of that, or as a result of the relationships that you build while at these events. I believe your next big opportunity is waiting in the next room that you walk into, but you have to get yourself into that room. So the moral of the story here, if you feel stagnant, if you feel like nothing's working, unplug yourself, go to another event with other agents and just share what's working for you. They share what's working for them. You brainstorm how to solve certain problems. It does not have to be fancy. It does not have to be complicated, but get your ass to one of those events. If there's a Further Together event in your area, and there's still a few happening still, for the rest of this month, furthertogetherevent.com. You can see where those are. It's open to any agent from any brokerage. Your brokerage doesn't matter. Go to those. I highly recommend you just get in those rooms where your brokerage doesn't matter. And it's just about agents collaborating with each other. you got to take the first step. If you feel stagnant and stuck, that's not going to solve itself. You have to do something to put that to an end. You have to do something to change that. It could be as simple as saying, you know what, I'm feeling burned out. I'm feeling a little bit stuck. I'm going to go to the coffee shop for the next hour and I'll work from there. And that change of scenery can open up your brain to think to new ideas and all this stuff that wouldn't have happened otherwise. This is a very simple concept. This could have been like a 2-minute podcast, actually. This podcast could have been an email, right? Wouldn't have had the same impact, obviously, or the same effect. But get your ass out of the basement and go talk to others, be around others who are on the same journey as you, find out what's working for them, share what's working for you. That does so much to boost your business, which will absolutely boost your sales. But you got to do it. You got to do it. Hopefully I will see you in Vegas at the Fairway Elevate event, which is, I didn't even tell you the date. I should probably look this thing up. It is November 13th in Las Vegas. Go to vegas.fairwayelevate.com and I hope to see you there. I mean, incredible speaker lineup. I'm excited to be part of it with these guys. There we go. So there's your episode. If you have not yet, make sure you check out Keeping Current Matters. Be the advisor that your clients trust with KCM. Keeping Current Matters gives you easy to understand market insights, ready to share graphics and scripts that keep you looking like a pro and make you the advisor to your clients and not just a salesperson. Kind of a big deal. Try that out over at trykcm.com/BAM. Try it for free at trykcm.com/BAM. And then with BAMX, imagine having the copy for every email marketing email is what my notes say. For every marketing email, every script, every hook, for every video and social post delivered to your inbox each week. Level up your content and your business with BAMX, hyperlocal, data-driven social media templates delivered every single week to your inbox. Video scripts, blogs, email content, courses, masterminds, referral network of agents who are like-minded. Go to massiveagentsociety.com/BAMX. They have a great video over there on that page. If you just go to massiveagentsociety.com/BAMX, click play, you can visually see everything that's included, all of these scripts, what these templates look like, and judge for yourself whether or not that's going to help you in your business. I use that stuff. I use their templates from time to time for some of my social content, and I think you'll find it's pretty awesome. So go check out BAMX. Thank you so much for listening. If you would, share this episode with somebody who needs to hear this, someone who's stuck in their business, an agent who's struggling. Please share this episode with them so that they can get a little boost and get a lifeline to help them thrive as well. Because, real estate's tough. Business is tough. It always is. This market has been more challenging than others. So help another agent out. Share this. Share it with them. Post it on social. Help us to reach new agents. And I'll keep coming back every week. I'll see you guys next week for another episode of the Massive Agent Podcast. Take care.